Isang malaking awesome, and thank you so much guys. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat, and big shoutouts kay Yahuwah, and big shoutouts of course sa asawa ko na nanonood ngayon, and big shoutouts of course sa mga nandito agad at una-una sa chats natin or sa sa chat natin, sa chat box. And kay Zenmind, kaso may natatakpan dito, big shoutouts sa iyo. Kay Anime, big shoutouts kay Innocentes, big shoutouts. Tingnan natin sino to. Tatakpan siya. Okay. Kay Exy, kay Angel Nathan, kay Yeager, pati kay Stephen, kay Stephen Linos. Big shoutout sa inyo. Okay, so nga pala si Oso Bear. I've been here since 2017. I've been trying to share you guys my wins and losses dito sa cryptocurrency. And I've been here in the YouTube, no, publicly. Sinesend ko sa inyo yung mga nangyayari, mga talo, panalo ko since 2021 ng August. And nagsimula yung Meraki ng 2023 ng spring. So, ngayon guys, may 21 viewers tayo pero wala tayong masyadong likes, and dadalawa lang yung share natin. Ako pa ata to. So, big shoutouts kay Virginia Makasaya. Big shoutouts. Okay? So, guys, ito na yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. So, kumusta naging buy trades nyo? Buy or sell nyo? So, isa ba kayo sa mga nag-sell or isa kayo sa mga nakibuy sa akin nung 81,900? Which is nung last live natin. Lupit na, no? Guys, ganda nung naging snipe natin doon by just using confluences and of course liquidity and observation ng candle patterns. Yun lang naman ginagawa natin. Pero anyways, let's go with our 4 hour. Babalik na rin natin. Huwag muna tayo sa large time frame. Mga pag-uusapan natin is malulupit din, which is yung mga chismis na gusto nyong pag-usapan today. Then also may mga pag-uusapan din tayo dito, which is kino-correlate ko na kung bakit mali tayo in terms of like looking at 2021. Okay, so there is a high probability, no, na 2021 to, and we're repeating the history. But let's not neglect that this also happened in the history when it comes to business cycle. And we'll be talking about the MACD, which is a highly speculative indicator na pwedeng hinahanapan lang natin ng butas or hinahanapan lang natin ng dahilan. Pero yan. Okay, so kung ready na kayo guys, tagtarin nyo ng 28 or ng awesome yung ating chat kung ready na kayo. And please, do like and share, subscribe, and share nyo ako sa Facebook at kung saan man. Okay, so that we will be able to reach out a lot of people who are interested to highly speculative chismis. Okay, so again, this is not a financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just trying to share you guys yung mga chismis and yung mga tingin ko will really greatly impact the price of Bitcoin or the overall cryptocurrency. So right now, ito yung nakikita ko. So sa 4 hours, there is a high chance that we are still in a decision making. So ito, sa 15 minutes, parang na siya, bearish na siya kasi bumagsak na tayo dun sa local low natin, which is nandun na tayo. Okay, bumagsak ng bahagya, pero hindi pa naman tayo nagko-close ng todo sa 4 hours. Nag-bounce siya. So may local low tayo dito, which is 85,400. So the expectance ng mga tao sa trading is we have to bounce in order for us to reach at least the 88k. So I'm also targeting 88 to 90 to 92k in order for us to really see if there will be a bullish momentum. So how I see the market is parang gusto niya magganito. Okay, so if you look at the chart natin sa screen dito sa 4 hours, parang ang gusto niya is magganyan tsaka siya maggaganyan. Okay, forming a trend ulit, which is babasagin natin yung previous trend na pabagsak. Okay, so kung ito yung trend, okay, nakikita natin, okay, which is kumawala naman siya. we want to get out of it but also to retrace it a couple of times in order for us to really see that there is a bullish momentum, or sabihin natin we already gone out of that pain in the market. So ang next na kalaban natin sa spider is itong trend na to. Yan ang next nating kalaban. Okay, which is understandable or highly understandable. Ang problema kasi is fake liquidity to. So ito na lang titignan natin. Okay, para lang masabi natin kung totoo or hindi. Okay, wala na bang pag-asa ang mga alts lods? It's not the rotation, guys. Wala pa din yung rotation. So, kung altcoins kayo ng altcoin season, we've been talking about altcoin season fundamentals, and I've been trying to tell you guys, okay, how we will be able to get into altcoin season. Okay, please do not skip my videos in order for you guys to really learn yung mga topics na ganun. Okay, marami akong mga documents din na sinashare sa inyo. Okay. So, yeah, let's move on kasi ayokong magtagal sa technical analysis kasi mahaba-haba yung topic natin for today para i-catch up kayo sa mga nangyayari. But yeah, before I leave, okay, mas magandang hanapan natin to ng dahilan, itong 15 minutes natin. So, nakikita natin we're still inside the bullish pag ang titingin natin is yung Fibonacci. Okay? Nasa Fibonacci kasi tayo nakatingin. Okay, ang Fibonacci natin sinasabi is there is a chance that we can still retrace 87 tsaka tayo makakita ng higher. Okay, which is itong 90k. Okay, tsaka tayo masusupat pa, which is ito yung bearish order block natin na pinoproblema. Okay, so yung bearish order block natin, magiging malaking sell wall yan. Okay, unless, okay, this is a relief pump. Okay, tapos maging flip side is maging maganda yung attraction ng mga tao doon sa nangyaring price move. Okay, doon natin may invalidate tong order blocks na to. But again, we still have this large sideways movement here. We cannot just invalidate this, and there's no psychological analysis na pwedeng mag-invalidate nito, or sabihin natin sentiment sa market na kaya mag-invalidate nito right away. Okay, we really have to take time in order for us to really get to that level. Tapos sabihin natin, we are going to get to a new all-time high, which is sabihin natin 128. Okay, and doon natin masasabi sa inyo na, okay, Bitcoin is going to proceed with the altcoin season, and hindi tayo basta tatalon doon sa idea na altcoin season. But hindi ko din i-disregard or bibigyan kayo ng parang idea ni Sir Oso na nagbibili ako ng mga ibang alts na potentially could bottom out earlier kasi nangyayari talaga yon, which is mga utility assets. Okay, so right now ang magandang pag-usapan is yung mga narrative. So what drives the market and what are the current news in the market that drives us to that specific narrative. Okay, so ang nakikita natin ngayon, maraming drama, no? So pag-usapan na natin yung mga walang kakwenta-kwenta. Okay, hindi ko nakikitang this is going to be a highly regarded news na masasabi kong will really impact the market. This is just going to be a reactive market, reactive news. Kumbaga magre-react lang yung mga tao dito, and this is just because, or sabihin natin, a outcome sa nangyayaring hedge. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin ko doon? So ano yung hedge? Okay, ito yung tinatawag ko na si MicroStrategies. Okay, there is a huge sell-off na nangyayari sa MicroStrategy. Kung titingnan natin yung chart niya, okay, punta natin chart nito ha, para makita nyo. MSTR. Okay, yan sa Nasdaq tayo. Okay, nakikita nyo? So, meron tayong sell-off. Okay, so pero sa nakikita ko, sa 4 hour. Okay, sa 4 hours. Okay, this is a huge support. Okay? Kaya siya nag-stop dyan. Kung wala yan, dediretso yan. Okay, so ngayon, ang nakikita ko, why am I still intact with this one and still going to talk about it is because, okay, nag-bounce siya sa 618. And this is highly reactive, kaya nilagay ko din yung 618. So nevertheless, kung ang zero natin nandito, okay, ina-assume ko na lang na extended Fibonacci to. So hindi ako kasi ganun gumawa ng Fibonacci, hindi ko siya ilalagay na from top to bottom na ganito, tapos adjust. Okay, tapos pagdadasal ko na tama yung Fibonacci ko. So hindi. Okay, ang ginagawa ko is tinatama ko to, tinitingnan ko kung saan nagba-bounce yung market or nagre-react talaga yung market. So nakita natin, nag-stop siya dito. Okay, and nagpapakita yung bottom doon sa liquidity. So parang mas maiging, okay, or mas madaling sabihin na lang natin, or mas madaling salita, okay, mas magandang ituring natin 618 to. Okay, then tignan natin kung hanggang saan itong double Adam and Eve na to na sinasabi nila, Adam plus Eve. Okay, so usually ang Adam and Eve, okay, madali lang na may chart yon kung totoong ito talaga yung pattern ng Adam and Eve, is pwede nating hatakin. Okay, sabihin natin ito yung gaganyanin niya lang, hatakin natin kung totoong ito yung top niyan, or gusto nyo maging linyan tayo, habulin natin to. Okay, maganda is ito yung problema pag pwede nating itapat yan dito, yan, ganyan. So ibig sabihin hanggang dito yung magiging drop niya, which is sobrang lapit na rin. Okay, or ito yan. So ito yung hinahabol natin, sakto din siya. So ito din, sakto din. Okay, so may konti pang drop na pwedeng mangyari. Okay, pero yeah, this is being used for hedge. Tinisell off nila dito para makabili ng totoong Bitcoin. Nangyayari yon. Okay, but with the news, okay, just to catch you up sa mga nangyayaring news dito ngayon. Okay, so this is a long history ng drama ng crypto. Okay, so with the historical feud na JP Morgan's toward crypto back in 2017, ang pagkakaalala ko, anti-Bitcoin ang JP Morgan. Okay, so si CEO Jamie Dimon, or Jamie Dimon, okay, pagkakaalala ko, yun talaga yung apelido niya, publicly calls Bitcoin is a fraud, and the marketing behind that is the supply of or the lack supply of total of 21 million Bitcoin only that can be mined, and there is a halvening. So it's marketing daw. They don't recognize it as a genius coding and kumbaga algo, kumbaga. So ito na. So noong January 2018, nung nagbagsakan yung market, isa siya sa mga nagdiwang despite Diamond's public anti-Bitcoin stance. Si JP Morgan in-explore niya yung blockchain technology at tinry niyang makipag-participate sa creators ngayon ng Link. Okay, so yung Link, tandaan niyo ha guys, pinag-usapan na natin to dati, 2022, 2023, why I am bullish about Link, Axelar, and Atom. It's because these are structure. Okay, structure to ng buong new blockchain that they're trying to create for institutions or banking. Okay, so ito na yung naging stance dito. So si JP Morgan, in-explore niya yung blockchain technology and launch a JPM coin. Okay, that is so hypocrite, kumbaga. Okay, promoting accusations of hypocrisy from crypto community, wherein nag-launch sila ng sarili nilang meme coin. Actually, meme coin yan. May tuturing nating meme coin. Okay, so si August 2020 naman, nung COVID, pagkatapos, okay, Michael Saylor's company, MicroStrategies, heavily bought a lot of Bitcoin, begins buying Bitcoin of its corporate treasures. Kung maalala nyo guys, okay, siya ang pangalawa sa pinakauna. Okay, pangalawa nga lang siya, hindi siya yung pinakauna. Ang pinakauna is Tesla. Okay, so back in 2018, Elon Musk was trying to for cryptocurrency, mainly Bitcoin, by posting a Bitcoin image. Okay, so now, ang haba na itong chismis na to, just to like really summarize everything to you guys, si Michael Saylor isa sa, or pangalawa sa pinakamalalaking companies or enterprises who sees that Bitcoin could be one of the solutions for financial problems that we are facing right now back in 2020. So they believe that there will be a massive print out of money, which is tama nga. Nagkaroon tayo ng 5 trillion of supply. Mamaya i-explain ko to sa inyo. Then, ngayong January 2025, si CEO Dimon or Demon, Demon talaga. Feeling ko Demon talaga to eh. Demon talaga happy. Basta Demon, Diamond, okay. Diamond acknowledges that crypto and blockchain have potential, and JP Morgan announces that they plan to accept Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is very hypocrite, okay? As loan collateral, this is so hypocrite. Isipin mo, allow nila as for loan collateral. So ibig sabihin, they want your Bitcoin, they want your Ethereum for themselves. Okay? Allow nila yon as loan collateral for institutional clients only muna for the meantime. But there are experiments that they are trying to open the idea, since there are regulations already, like MiCA and even yung mga newly signed laws by Donald Trump that will really boost the cryptocurrency in the United States. Okay, so ito na. To make things short, yung shift in tone na nangyari na ginawa ni Diamond or ni Demon, okay, draws a jab for Michael Saylor. Why? Because may post si Michael Saylor na nakalagay is, don't wait until your banker tells you to buy Bitcoin. Okay, so ito na yun. Nandito na tayo sa punto na yun na dumudulas na tayo papasak doon sa narrative na yun, which is nagiging tama si Michael Saylor dito. So, ngayon, yung escalations medyo naging masyadong mainit dahil ang dami na nga nagko-comment, nagsasawsawan dun sa naging topic. Kahit yung kay Jeffrey Epstein na nasali na dito, then dito na nahalukay yung dumi ng JP Morgan all throughout the years and decades. Since World War I, World War II, yung gold seizing ng 1930s, nangyari yun. Okay, then ito September 2025 ulit. Okay, si Jack Mallers yata apelido, Jack Mallers, CEO of the Bitcoin payments from Strike, okay, not Stripe, Strike, okay, reveals that si JP Morgan closed their personal bank. Okay, so ewan ko kung totoo to, anong proof neto behind this. Wala akong makitang proof na talagang kinlose yung kanyang bank or de-debunk siya. Okay, ano ibig sabihin ng debunk? Hindi debunking, okay? Ibig sabihin debunk. Tinanggalan siya ng karapatan na magkaroon ng bangko sa JP Morgan. Okay, reveals that JP Morgan closed his personal bank accounts. Okay, then si ano to? Ano nga yun? Nasa kinlose yung personal bank accounts niya without a warning and explanation, which is a violation of many laws. Yan yung pinaglalaban ni Jack Mallers. Okay, this act revives long-held crypto community concerns about the banking and practices of Sparks Anger. Okay, so ibig sabihin, yung issue noong 2013 kung bakit gusto nilang pumunta sa Bitcoin na lang, okay, at ayaw nilang ma-regulate ang Bitcoin is because the regulation is a trap. Okay, and they are afraid of the regulation that Bitcoin will face along the way. If the Bitcoin will be regulated, okay, it will be the start of the destruction of Bitcoin. But Satoshi, okay, which is with the last email, proves it too, because they cannot, ang punto ni Satoshi dun sa last email niya is, hindi nila kayang sirain ang Bitcoin sa centralized, okay, by regulating it and this and that and that. What will break the Bitcoin is the split of liquidity. So, ito yung Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. Okay, so yung dalawang yan yung kinakatakot ni Satoshi, which is the very last email. Okay, na sinabi niya, if Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin succeeds, Bitcoin is dead. Ganun lang kadali. Okay, so ito na yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. So, si October 2025, which is last month, okay, yung news natin actually gone bigger. Okay? And nagkaroon tayo ng government investigation into JP Morgan. Okay? Is because, maliban doon sa debunking, following claims that there are a lot of debunking, hindi lang doon sa isang tao, kundi sa marami pang mga people or tao. Okay, so ang pagkakasabi dito sa naging mahabang topic, okay, ang sinasabi dito is may allegedly politically motivated debunking following, okay, claims by Donald Trump. Okay, and this adds the negative sentiment towards the bank. Okay, so yun. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin nun? Marami silang nakita na hindi pagsunod ng JP Morgan. So I really see that this is two left wing, right wing kind of problem. Okay, hindi leftist or far right problem. What I'm saying is ito yung tinatawag na strategy ng Freemasons. Yung kumbaga yung isa tataliwas, kumbaga isa realist, yung isa idealist. Okay, so ngayon, nandun na tayo sa idealist momentum, which is yung, probably Bitcoin could be one thing. We just need to improve it. We just need to regulate it. So, ang realist natin is, nope, we cannot. Okay, so ang ginagawa ni Donald Trump, pinapatay niya yung situation ng yung nangyayaring bank cartel na nangyayari sa United States. So I'm not really sure about that, but that's how it looks like. Okay, so ayokong masakdal. Ang sinasabi ko lang, yun yung nakikita ko. Okay, since nandito ako sa US. So ito na yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. For November 2025 naman, okay, ang napansin ko lang dito, si JP Morgan analyst issues. Okay, nag-issue sila ng yung in-issue nila, a warning that MicroStrategies or MSTR faces a risk of being excluded from major equities indices like MSCI yata yun, or MSCI nga, due to its heavy Bitcoin holdings, because it's becoming dangerous daw. When Bitcoin crashes, what will happen is MSTR could go to bankruptcy. And yun yung pinagdidiinan nila, which is, okay, the warning cites that MSCI proposal to exclude the companies whose digital asset holdings exceeds 50% of their total assets. So this is about using the rules and tactics, pero I think this is a beef between Michael Saylor or the MicroStrategies versus JP Morgan and Diamond. Okay, so etong November 2025 ulit, last week ago, yung ngayon na pala to actually, netong nangyari lang 2 days ago, 1 day ago, ang crypto community or Bitcoin OGs, ang sinasabi nila, okay, big shoutouts kay Trupa 3944, big shoutout sa'yo. Okay, so ito na sasabihin ko sa inyo ulit tayo. Nagalit sila by the index warning of Mahler's debunking. Okay, kasi na-debunk yung isa sa mga Bitcoin maximalist. So, ibig sabihin, tina-tie up ng buong crypto community at Bitcoin maximalist na pag Bitcoin maximalist ka or pro-crypto ka at ang most ng pera mo ngayon ay nasa crypto, hindi nasa bank, malaki yung chances mo na ma-debunk ka. Okay, at pag nakita sa statements mo na bumibili ka, sabihin natin sa Cash App, bumibili ka ng maraming Bitcoin, umabot ng 14,000 pero wala kang masyadong holding sa mga bangko mo, malaki yung chances na pwede nilang i-close or meron silang right to reserve their rights to close your bank due to this and that and that and that, blah blah blah. Ewan ko anong mangyayari doon in the future, pero yun yung nagiging topic dito or speculation ng mga tao. Okay, so yan, meron pa tayong FUD against MSTR kung nakikita nyo dito sa screen natin, pero sinasummarize ko na lang sa inyo. Okay, so ito na, may isa pa tayong gusto kong malupit na ikwento sa inyo. Okay, 30 minutes na tayo nagkukwentuhan, pero don't worry. Okay, gusto ko lang ihabol kayo sa mga nangyayari, why this is irrelevant. Okay, so prominent figures like Grant Cardone and si Max Kaiser tried to join into this topic. With some of reporting, they have pulled their money. So ibig sabihin, withdraw na nila lahat ng pera nila at nilipat nila sa ibang bangko. Okay. Also, that led to them to increase their stablecoin holdings. Okay, so chismis yun hindi ko sinasabing pure facts yun. So ang sinabi ng mga tao at mga malapit sa dalawang to is nagbili sila ng maraming stablecoin as the other countries are also increasing their stablecoin. So si Max Kaiser also speculates that JP Morgan may have taken a short position on MSTR, and that is the reason why they are doing this a lot of FUD in the market. Okay, so they're not creating it, but rather they are using the proper laws, okay, or the proper way to really do it to avoid lawsuits. Okay, so Saylor versus JP Morgan, nato na. So yung conflict, okay, between Michael Saylor and JP Morgan is a long standing. So this is the reason why I really don't think this is nothing. I really think this is nothing. Not don't think it's nothing. Double negative. I really think this is nothing. Okay, we don't have to really worry about this. Okay, why? It's because this is going to heavily impact MSTR but not Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin will be impacted by this one, it's just because of hedging. Pag bumaliktad yung hedging. Okay, sabihin natin, bumili sila ng maraming MSTR. Okay, what will happen is, pwede na lang nilang i-short yung Bitcoin. So ngayon, ang nangyayari sa situation natin ngayon is, ang gusto nila, i-short si MSTR, okay, and to down it to a penny stock. Yun ang plano ng JP Morgan sa nangyayaring ginagawa niya. Or yung lumalabas na plano niya. Okay, so Mueller said yung debunking allegation or debunking, not debunking or nawalan siya ng bank. So, I mean, if totoong Bitcoin maximalist ka, ito yung masasabi ko. Okay, opinion ko to guys. Dapat masaya ka. Okay, ibig sabihin nun, clue na yon na nag-fail na yung system ng banking. Okay, dapat pumupunta na kayo sa stablecoin or trying to learn how to facilitate your own or self-custody. Okay, dapat nandun na kayo sa topic ng self-custody. Pag hindi, okay, it will be a massive black swan event for you alone, kung sakaling magkaroon ng massive shift from fiat to stablecoin, which is yun yung nangyayari sa atin ngayon. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, kung papansinin nyo, nagkaroon ng inflation at pagdami ng supply ng stablecoin at dumami yung iba't ibang types ng stablecoin. Okay, mainly mga companies na naggagawa ng sarili ng stablecoin, PayPal, United States, iba't ibang mining companies sa United States for Bitcoin, and also mga small companies sa finance or banking, they're also doing it. Europe is doing it. Japan is also doing it. China is doing it. And of course, precious metals backed by stable coins is also doing it. Okay, so ito na, sabihin ko sa inyo. Okay, yung next community boycotting natin, I don't think this is going to heavily impact whatever yung gusto nyo targetin. Kung MSTR index, I'm not really sure that's gonna impact the JP Morgan to. Sabihin natin, boycotting natin yung JP Morgan, then what? Wala namang mangyayari. Malaking company na siya. Okay? It will just go and start a spark. Pero ngayon, the question is, gaano katagal yung magiging spark na yan? So, kislap lang yan. Okay, pero maganda nga din naman yan na may kislap para magliyab, sabi nga nila. Pero the question is, sinong ihipan para magpatuloy yung apoy para magliyab? Magkaiba kasi yun eh. Okay, so ngayon ang nakikita ko, kislap pa lang to. Wala pa tong sipa. Kumbaga, ang kailangan natin is government attacking banking, which is mangyayari yon. Wait nyo lang, nakikita ko yon. And pinredict na natin to since 2023 ng January. And this is about the topic doon sa stablecoin. Okay, so recently meron stablecoin wars ang Japan and China. Hindi lang sa pag-angkin ng Taiwan. Okay. It is a very big topic. So, ngayon, ito ang gusto kong pag-usapan, guys. let's talk about the 4-hour time frame here for Bitcoin. Okay, so sabihin natin maging mahina yung 50 moving average because we've been trying to test it many times. We tried to break it once. Now we are here. Okay, we did cross in 1 day and 1 week. Okay, sabihin natin pagpalagay natin we already bounced already in a 150 moving average sa ibang time frame. 1 week ata yun. Natin. Ay, hindi pala. So, 1 month ba yun? Tingnan natin ha. Nalimutan ko eh. For 3 days. Which is also, ayan, 3 days. Okay, so this is the reason why I bought. Okay. And, let's go back to 1 day. Kung makikita natin, we are already rising. Almost closing. Then, also, sa 4 hours, overheating. Pero, there's a chance to cross down again. And yun yung problema sa MACD, wala siyang overhead and wala siyang ceiling, wala siyang baba. So ano ibig sabihin nun? Okay, pwede itong dumausdos. Hindi katulad nung regular MACD nyo, meron siyang taas at meron siyang baba. Ito, didiretso to hanggat kaya niya. Ito, aangat to ng aangat hanggat kaya niya. Okay, so just to like really explain it to you guys why this is important is because I'm gonna peg to you or explain ko sa inyo yung business cycle. Okay, so sa ngayon, ang nakikita ko, yung mga tao is tinitingnan nila yung 1 day time frame at yung current situation. Tago muna natin yung mga drawing. Okay, current situation na to dito sa situation na to. Okay, so they're saying that angat tayo doon tsaka tayo babagsak. Yun yung sinasabi nila. Okay, but okay, the point is, okay, we don't see any related topic na kung saan sa liquidity, no? So pag i-analyze natin yung liquidity flow, walang ganun. Okay, ibig sabihin intact yung liquidity flow. Ibig sabihin nakapark lang lahat sa cryptocurrency at walang naglalabas. Okay, which is ayaw nyo tignan yan. Ewan kung bakit ayaw nyo tignan yan, kasi mas madali nga namang intindihin yung 4-year cycle. Okay, hindi ko kayo masisisi kung yan yung trip nyo, bala kayo. Okay, ayaw nyo tumingin ng iba pang on-chain data. Okay, pero hear me out. Okay, right now we have almost everyone, okay, on the timeline comparing our current market situation doon sa 2021. Okay, so lagi ko na to sinasabi sa inyo since nandito tayo. I'm calling for top, yes, 121, but that doesn't mean that it will, okay, crash and enter to a Bitcoin winter. Okay, or cryptocurrency winter or bear winter na tinatawag, which is aabot ng 2 years. Okay, just because of your 4-year theory. Okay, so most of people like who's talking about 4-year theory or yung 4 years theory na sinasabi nila, okay, really do not know that that is a theory. Okay, and that is just a pattern we are looking at. Okay, and every pattern, chart pattern, okay, or candlestick pattern can be invalidated just because of, okay, of manipulation or even full control in the market. So I'm gonna ask you guys, are we in a control? And if we are in control, who is in control? Yan yung magandang tanong, diba? Yung mga magandang pag-usapan, yun yung gusto kong tanungin sa inyo. If we are in control, okay, who is in control? Tingin nyo itong ganitong pump, cryptocurrency yung ganyang pump? No, that doesn't look crypto for me. This is something else. Meron tayong mini altcoin season. Ano yun? We don't get that anywhere. Okay, and that is not cryptocurrency. Okay, if altcoin season. Okay, altcoin season, pahinga altcoin season. Altcoin season dito. Grabe to, itong 2021, kahit na dito ka nasa sideways dito, nag-altcoin season pa din. Overheated talaga. Okay, and let me explain to you guys. Okay, in 2021, we are coming off, okay, the back of the largest stimulus ever. Like I said a while ago, ano yung sinabi ko? 5 trillion in total printed money or printed cash in the United States. Okay, with inflation smashing higher, of course, hindi nila pinag-uusapan yung time na yun. Okay, we just somehow forgot about it. with inflation smashing higher, tapos meron tayong rate increases on the horizon. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong end of tightening dito, somewhere dito. Oo, dito. End of tightening, bigla tayong bumagsak dito. Okay? That's a problem with Black Swan event. We cannot predict it. Okay? So, with inflation smashing, yun yung ibig sabihin nun. Okay, nung nandito na tayo, all of a sudden, we just forgot about it. Like it has never been, or it should not be a topic already. Okay, so tapos meron tayong some serious cutback, okay, coming from the Fed. Okay, so ibig sabihin, kailangan nilang kumikback sa mga nangyayari na pag-print natin, okay, sila naman ang kikita. Okay, so why am I talking about that? It's just to bring you back to dun sa nangyayari. So what is this white line here in our screen? This is our business season, okay? Business cycle indicator rather. Okay? So right now, pag tinignan natin yung situation natin ngayon, okay, MACD wise, also business model. Okay, yung business model talaga. Business cycle. Tapos liquidity. Okay? Sa cipher, makikita natin galaw ng pera dito. Okay? Nasa red na tayo. Pero wala tayong confirmation that it will enter a crypto winter. Why? Because the blue line or the blue is still intact. Okay? Hindi pa siya pumapasok dito sa green line. Okay? Kahit hatak-hatakin ko yan, hindi yan mahahatak. Nakikita nyo? Kasama niya yan. Okay, so ibig sabihin, pag dumikit tayo dyan at nagtagal tayo sa ilalim dyan, katulad na ito, pumasok siya sa green line, okay, crypto winter, 2 years. Sama mo na yung naging drop. Okay? So ngayon, wala tayong nakikitang ganoon. Okay, at hindi tayo dumadaos-dos doon ng sobra para makita din na nabiyak yung buong structure natin para masabing magto 2 years to. Para masabi nyo tama yung prediction nyo sa 4-year cycle. Okay? So, kung gusto nyo panoorin yung previous live natin na nagtatalk about doon sa naging prediction din natin na kasama yung solar cycle na tinatawag, which is yung mga sakunang nangyayari sa buong mundo. Okay? Napipredict din siya through astrology, and finance is also looking at it too. Because they cannot predict Black Swan event, but they can predict, okay, or get some signal from the stars and from the moon and from the sun by looking astrology. But again, it's not something that is very advisable in the Bible, okay, but we're saying is, if they're using it, then probably that is the reason why I really think that the market is not going to go in a full bear season. We are in a bubbling situation, that's true. Okay, I will explain it to you guys later kung bakit tingin ko magpapump tayo kung bubbling situation. Bakit? Okay, later I will tell it to you guys. Okay? So yeah, esoteric daw. Big shoutouts kay ZZZZZ. Alam ko yung pangalan nito dati nagbago. Okay. So right now, okay, tulad na sinabi ko, we are in a total opposite. Okay? We are coming off the back of the largest tightening cycle in decades. This is crypto tightening to repay this huge pump. Okay? Tingnan nyo to. Kung gaano katagal lang to. 357. Okay? 357. Okay, ito. Para lang bayaran lahat ng pagkakamali na to. Umabot ng more than. Okay? Dito yung nagsimula sa FTX. Naging topic. Hindi, dito. Hindi sa FTX. Dito sa banking. So, 1,211. Para lang, okay? Para lang i-ano yan. I-get it to situated, kumbaga, na mabayaran lahat ng nangyari dito. Anyways, okay, let's go back. Okay, ito na. Yan. I-immerse nyo yung sarili nyo sa nangyayari, okay? So that makita nyo yung nangyayari talaga ng mabuti. Okay, so ito na. So, how I see it, things are getting very tight. Okay, nagiging masyado nang mahigpit yung situation natin hanggang dito. So nangyayari ngayon, then of course this is going to be the most painful part of risk on assets, not just Bitcoin. Okay, And we are actually in a very similar position to 2019 instead. Okay? Ano yung, which means nasa 2026 pa ang bottom bago magsimula ang next cycle papunta? No? You're still stuck in the 4-year cycle pag yan ang iniisip mo. Then mali pa din kung yun pa rin yung thought mo. Sabihin natin 4-year cycle, mali pa din yung calculation mo na 2026 kung 4-year cycle yung tinitingnan nyo. Yung bottom is by 2026. No, I really don't think. Kung nasa 4-year cycle tayo, ang bottom nyo is aabot ng 2027 because this is an extended. Kita nyo naman nakikita naman natin. Kumbaga itong naging pump na to, this is a slow death situation for Bitcoin. Why? It's because under turmoil siya. Kumbaga, regulation, adoption, mainstream adoption, banking manipulation, and global liquidity inject. Okay? Kung hindi nyo naiintindihan yung guys, study micro and macro economics. How and what will be the effects if a banking, sabihin natin, simple na lang if yung banking try to enter a risk-on asset, tries to manipulate it. So same thing nga nasasabihin ko sa inyo. In September 2019, the Fed was winding down the QT. Okay, which is dito yan, guys. Okay, dito yan. 2019 na September, sinabi nila, hindi, mag-QT na tayo. Okay, kumbaga quantitative tightening and ending. Okay. Kumbaga, hindi shutdown. Wala, hindi ibig sabihin, hindi nila sinabi na, tapos na, quantitative tightening na tayo. Hindi ganoon. Ibig sabihin nila is hindi, baliktad. Wala nang quantitative tightening. Hindi yun yung sinabi nila. Ang sinabi nila, babagalan na natin yung pagtatight. Okay, yung paghihigpit. Okay, so dito, nung nangyari yon, dito yon sa momentum na to. Okay, January 25 yung unang bulwark kasi pinupukpok ni Donald Trump si Jerome Powell, kung maalala nyo, kasi masyado siyang political. Okay, masyado siyang political stance, kumbaga sa kanyang mga nagiging words and decision. Okay, then next is 26 tatama yung price sa 200-day moving average. Pattern pa rin kayo nakatingin, guys, kaya kayo masisira. Tandaan niyo yan, guys. Kung nakatingin kayo sa crosses sa this is not the time for you guys to look at that. Diyan kayo madadali. Tapos, diyan kayo madadali kung bakit kayo magfo-FOMO ng sobra sa market na to. Tapos, may hirapan kayo maka-exit sa market kasi late kayo pumasok. Kasi nag-iintay kayo ng signal. Nag-iintay kayo ng indicator, usual indicator na laging ina-access ng mga retail. Okay? So, always remember we have AI right now. So, alam na ng mga institution, sabihin natin si Aladdin, imposibleng hindi niya alam na nasa moving average kayo nakatingin. Imposibleng sa 4-year cycle kayo nakatingin. Imposibleng hindi niya alam yon. Alam niya yon. Okay? It is also self-maintaining already. From 32 years old back in 2021. Okay? Now, ano nang edad ng AI na yon? Because of its knowledge that it has gathered when the AI boom started, or the introduction of AI back in 2022 was introduced. Okay, AGI. Okay, I'm not saying AGI is one of the best AI. No, AGI is a model. So I really think AGI is not gonna be a thing already. Okay, more and more we might be accepting AI trying to decide for ourselves. Okay, kung ultimo pati tatanungin tayo kung gutom na tayo out of nowhere nang hindi naman natin sila kinakausap, tatanungin tayo kung gutom na tayo, aabot tayo sa punto na gano'n, and it will be just a normal thing for us to intake. Okay, so yung moving average, tingnan nyo yung time frame nyo, guys. Malalim yung 54K, babasagin niya yung buong structure na binuo for 2 years, and it's gonna be very impossible. Okay, kung marunong kayo ng structure base, at advanced structure analysis ng market. Okay, you know that the market resets when it entered the July 2024. Okay, why I was so bullish about it is because it is a market reset. Okay, if you know that, okay, or if you don't know that, you can just go ahead and type Wall Street cheat sheet. Okay, this is going to talk about euphoria. Then dun mo makikita that there was no euphoria in the market, and so your moving average topic is going to be invalidated because moving average needs to be pegged to sentimental analysis and also other indicators, and moving average cannot stand alone. Okay, so just to answer that question, okay, para baka sabihin niya ini-ignore ko kayo, and wag ding sasama loob nyo kung sinasagot ko ng ganitong way, so that magising kayo. Okay, kasi kung hindi nyo gagamitin ang moving average sa paraan ng pag-confirm lang at hindi sa at ginagamit nyo siya sa pag-predict, matatalo kayo sa market na to. Maniwala kayo sa akin. Madadali kayo. Okay? So, kita nyo naman dito na lang para sabihin nyo na ito, market reset, tapos umangat tayo. Para sabihin na bumagsak to dito at hindi dito or hindi dito lang sa 69. Malaking problema yon sa knowledge. Kumaga, may knowledge gap na nangyayari doon. You have to rethink about that. Okay, so ito na. Ito na yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. Back in 2019, okay, yung Bitcoin is a liquidity vessel kung titignan. Okay, and it feels like the effects of tight liquidity, kumbaga yung pakiramdam natin sa nangyayari ngayon, na parang sobrang suppress or sobrang kontrolado ng liquidity na pumapasok sa Bitcoin, na pag may kada papasok purely Bitcoin, no, from stable to Bitcoin, biglang maglalabas ng ETF. Ayan ko, napapansin niyo yan. Never nagkasabay-sabay yung mga catalyst para masabi talagang magkakaroon ng mega boom sa Bitcoin. Never. Laging dahan-dahan. Laging well or surgical entries yung nangyayari.